Okay, so welcome to this video on the Canon side, and today we are going to be analyzing why we drew against Sunderland. Now, I'm going to be using the GLA tactics board to explain certain things. I'm not going to delve into it too much, but my overall thoughts on the game. I thought it was, a close game. I didn't expect it to be that wide. I didn't underestimate Sunderland because I know what they are capable of because they are third for a reason. It's meritocracy. They are not scamming points. They are playing well. They beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge like a week ago. So I knew that it was not going to be an easy game. And there can be a lot of emotions when you're just coming out of a match, coming out of a match. You might be like, oh, I'm disappointed. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, if you look at the positives, is that we were without all of our players and we were still able to claw back a 1-0. Don't get me wrong. And after that, we created chances. Zubimendi hit the bar. A few shots were blocked. Their keeper was on his last legs. And what I just saw at the end was just fatigue from the players. And I say it because yes, we had a great squad depth and everything, but it was still always not going to be enough, if you get what I mean. It was still always going to be that less uh advantage. Because if you look at it, who do you really want to bring on? Who did we have on the bench? We had Hinkapie, we had Ben White, we had Skelly, we had Ariman Anush, we had Lewis Kelly. Who do you want to bring in there? You get what I mean? Who do you really say that, oh, you can't trust this person to do a job here in a tight physical game that is getting scrappy? Who do you trust that will not be bullied off the ball? And when I look and I was like, no Odegaard, no Madueke to come and run at Ronaldo, I don't know his name. Ronaldo that has no that is on a yellow card, and you just look at the bench and you're like, you have nothing. Maybe you could have showed some faith, brought on a Max Dowman, but in a physical game, a 15-year-old might not even last that long with the likes of Dan Ballard. And we had chances. And when I looked at the bench, I was like, and I looked at it from the beginning of the match, and I'm like, these are the type of games that you win from the bench. And I looked at the bench and I was like, nah. Except we were trying to low block it. And I knew that eventually we were going to have to go to a low block at the end, which is not really like Arteta in the past few seasons. I feel like we've not really seen. I think the first season that we really saw that low block when you are defending a lead was back in his first season. That's how we won the FA Cup. But since then, I don't think he has really ever shifted to a back five when he's keeping a lead. I don't think I've ever seen him do that, but I think he was forced into putting Mosquera on, and we'll go deep into why I think we drew this game. But looking at the grand scheme of things, people say that, oh, City trashed Liverpool 3-0. And I'm like, okay, so City won. But even if we won, it will still be the same two game swing. Sorry. It will still be the same 2 game swing. Okay, if we won, there will be 6 points behind us here. Now there are 4 points behind us. If they win their next match, they will be 1 point behind us. They will not overtake us. Same thing with if we had a 6 goal lead. Liverpool, we have an 8 points lead on Liverpool. The closest to us is City on 4 points, and then we have a 6 points lead on Chelsea. If you get what I mean. So if you look at it in a positive mindset, I think if there was any game that I wanted to drop points, any weekend that I wanted to drop points, I think it would have been this weekend. Not when City go to Burnley, or when Liverpool go to, you get. I think this is a game that you'll be like, okay, yes, I can afford to drop points here. Don't get me wrong, it's an opportunity missed. Yes, would I have loved to win the game and go 10 points clear of Liverpool and knock them out of the title race effectively? Yes, but football is not always that straightforward. Life is never that straightforward. But today we're going to be going into, but we just have to look at the possible. Today we're going to be going into the tactics and a lot of reasons why we lost the game, and I can't give my player ratings because that's too low, and then we will look at next matches and everything. Okay, so now going into the tactics board here, Now, what do I see? I see a lineup of the normal back four, which has considered only 3 goals prior to that match. Now we've considered 5 goals. So if we're looking to break the 15 goal record that was set by Chelsea, we need to concede less than 10 goals this season, and that's in 9 months. That record is somehow impossible to break. I think that record and the Invincibles stand side by side, if you ask me. So we started with Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori, and Zubimendi, Rice, double pivot, Saka, Eze, Trossard, and Merino up front. And I've always had this debate with other Arsenal fans on what is Mikel Merino's true position. And I'll tell you here, Mikel Merino is not number 9. Mikel Merino is not a midfielder. Even if he's a midfielder, I don't think he's going to be one of the best midfielders. I feel like Mikel Merino is a box crashing number 8, which is also a false 9. I know that's complicated, but if you look at Merino's goals, most of his goals are. He's a good finisher, don't get me wrong. I love the way he finishes. He's a good, brilliant finisher. But the problem is, he doesn't have striker instinct. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's adjust this. In the game when we played, we had Saka. I can't get Ronaldo for Mandava, so we're going to have to keep it like that. So you have Saka around the touch line here, causing trouble to the left back for them. They are playing in back five. And then you have Timber on the underlap here. Then you have Willie Merino here. Then you have Izzy in this sort of pocket with Sadiki and Shaka. And then you have Trossard with Mukiele, not necessarily to hugging the touchline because Calafiori is coming here. Calafiori is making those sprints into the box or to the touchline, while Trossard is trying to take on his man, who eventually is shot and everything. There's discard that. And then you have Declan, which is everywhere literally. I can't put him in one position because it's Declan Rice. You have him somewhere. And then you have Zubimendi controlling the whole center circle. Everything passes through him. Whether we're going forward or we're going back, everything passes through him. And he's one of the best players. And I think it's really unfortunate to get that foul, which I don't think was a foul. I think he won the ball cleanly. And there was a foul on Izzy in the build-up to that foul as well. But I don't think that was a foul. And I think the referee was Paul. I can't even remember his name. I think it was even his name. And then you have Saliba playing John Stones type of role. And then you have Gabriel, sorry. Then you have Gabriel here around this playing in this type of role, which he can pass balls to Calafiori and Trossard. So yeah, so that's what I noticed fairly. So we're playing a kind of 3-3-1-6 or something 2-1-6 or something like that, or 2-6-1, if you could say. But why I will not say 2-6-1 is because Merino. Anytime I watched Merino, I never saw him in where I would see Victor Gyökeres. And I had a chance to watch back a lot of replays, and to be frank, I was utterly disappointed in Merino. And I know I can't say that because that's not his position. We're asking him to do a job there, but I think we should know that that's not sustainable. And people insult Gyökeres. I'd rather fans talk about Gyökeres and this and that. But for me, Gyökeres, I don't need Gyökeres to bang hat tricks every game. I don't need Gyökeres to get 50 goals in a season. The reason why, personally, as an Arsenal fan, I was asking for a striker is because I want somebody with an instinct of a striker. You don't get what I mean? Being a striker is not just about scoring goals. If Erling Haaland is just a goal scorer and he didn't have positional awareness on where to be in order to execute the best finish, not just being where you need to be, but in a position where you can execute the best finish. You don't get what I mean? If you look at Merino's goals, most of his goals, the goal against Real Madrid, for example, He was playing as a striker there for us, but he wasn't in the box. Who was in the box those games? It was Saka that would be in the box. But I didn't want Saka to be in the box because if Saka is in the box, nobody is here. Nobody is in that right space. So we're effectively letting them be able to counter down. But you see, Gyökeres has solved that. That's one thing that I didn't like because a lot of times when the press was on and we could have won the ball, Merino wasn't there. I saw Merino at right wing at some point. I saw him where Zubimendi was, and I saw him so many places. And at some point, I remember, if my memory serves me right, I think he was at right wing. So, and then Rice saw him, and Rice was like, "Bro, like, go back, you're playing striker, what are you doing?" I think I saw that conversation. And this is evidence because Ballard got a goal and an assist. If Ballard had somebody to worry about, I don't think he will be as advanced as he was in the whole game. And I say that with full chest. And that's what Gyökeres does best. And that's my first point on Gyökeres and Merino. You can't play those guys and even Havertz does it well. He knows, he has positional awareness, even though he's more of a false nine, even Gabriel Jesus. But Merino is a good finisher. We want him to finish, but we can't play him as striker. And I think that's the reason why we wanted this. And I think we need to clear that up in the fan base. We didn't want Gyökeres to come and score goals. Let's not lie to ourselves. Our problem was never scoring goals. Don't get me wrong. Our problem was somebody to complete that forward line. Because we can't be relying on Saka scoring all of our goals. We need somebody that will help the whole team be balanced. And I think we've seen that a lot with Gyökeres. And I think people fail to understand. And I'm not glazing Gyökeres here. I'm saying what I see on the football pitch. If you look at against Burnley, Burnley were ready to set up again with a 5 at the back for us. Exactly the same thing that Sunderland played in this game. And we played this exact same match last week. I'm not even joking. That's the exact same match. What was the difference? What do you think was the difference? Gyökeres. That's just the difference. I won't lie to you and I won't come here and sit down as an Arsenal fan and tell you other Arsenal fans that I don't believe in him, whether he scores goals or not. I need balance in a team. I don't care who scores the goals. Because in a team, everybody contributes. You don't get? Everybody contributes. You can, for example, like Liverpool now. You have so many. Why is Liverpool not winning? Because you have so many places where you have imbalances. You look at the left back situation that they had. You looked at the right back situation where they had to place Szoboszlai at right back. Then now they're having to try to shoehorn Wirtz in. Because they have tried to play Wirtz as a 10. He's showing that it's not working. You are now playing him as a left winger when you have Chiesa and what's his name? And Gakpo. You know, you tried to play 4-4-2 with Ekitike and Isak against was it Galatasaray one game? I can't remember the game. So yes, you don't try. What you need in a football team is balance, and that's what I wanted. Because I can't be letting us. Like last season, if you look at it, if Saka doesn't score, we're in big trouble. And that I didn't want that. That's not something that you should be wanting as a fan. I think you should look at the bigger picture. And now, again to the point of Gyökeres. Watch this closely. If Gyökeres plays here and is occupying these defenders cannot come out too easy. The only people that will be taxed with that is Sadiki and Shaka. So imagine Izzy has this whole space free. Izzy has this whole space free. This zone 14, as we like to call it. Imagine he has this whole place free. And then can take a shot at goal, which you know he can do. If a player was here occupying Ballard and Gertruda. Because if they don't occupy him, imagine Ballard comes here now and Gertruda is here. What does Izzy have to do? And Trossard would also is a all round thing. Imagine Ballard was here. Ballard was going to Izzy and Shaka, all of them making trying to get easy. What will happen? Trossard will come here, Calafiori will enter here, Rice. All of a sudden, we have three players in on goal. You get what I mean? Just because of one guy decides to leave the most threatening player. So what's now the difference? If they are holding him, that's another thing. If they are holding him now, Eze now has the whole zone 14 to size up his shot. You don't get. So it's a win-win game, however you play it. Because if they are occupying him, if they are occupying Gyökeres, it lets them come inside. So Saka can be free. So Trossard and Calafiori can be free. So that Eze can have the zone 14 to himself and make a decision as a playmaker. But if they have nobody to worry about now, let's say Merino is in right wing. So Ballard and Gertruda have nobody to worry about. So Ballard can go to Eze and Mukiele will mark Trossard and Hume will mark Calafiori and Gertruda will track Timber and Mandava will track Saka. All of a sudden you have lost the spark that you had. Because why? You have no focal points. All because this place is now empty for you. So all of a sudden you've lost all the advantage that you have. That's the importance of having a striker. No, see, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying having Gyökeres now as a striker. I'm talking about having a striker. You look at Haaland do it. You look at Haaland do it. Look at the goal that Doku scored yesterday. Why? Because all of them were scared that Haaland is in a good position like this. Doku won't pass it to Haaland. But Doku saw the space open up in front of him because they have tracked Haaland back and he took a shot and he scored. It's that simple. Let's not lie, it's that simple. It's that simple. And yeah. So that's all of the points I have to make on Gyökeres, and so I'll reset the board now so we can have the teams back. And what I want to talk about now is something special unfolding in our eyes. You see, these two players, they're going to be absolutely key to whatever Arsenal do this season. People, I've seen Arsenal fans that say Zubimendi is underwhelming, or Eze is underwhelming, or Rice is underwhelming. But you see this midfield, the three of them, let me highlight the three of them. The three of them, they're going to be absolutely crucial to whatever we do this season. Eze might not be guaranteed because I think Odegaard in some games will have to come in to show that much. Eze is not somebody that wants the ball, that wants to keep it. Eze wants to always act, which is not always good if you are trying to have control, which Arteta likes. Odegaard is better at that, and I think that Sunderland game, he would have brought up somebody like Odegaard if he was available, but fortunately he wasn't. But you see Zubimendi and Rice double pivot is working wonders for us, and I don't think we can see it yet. And that's why this season I'm not bowing down to any form of PTSD. You see, these two players, Zubimendi played some passes yesterday, and I was like, and I said yesterday, day before yesterday, and I was like, what? Is the shot that he took, it was just 1 second earlier if he dipped, and it would have been a beautiful goal, just like the one that is scored at Nottingham Forest. And I don't know praise I can give Rice. I feel like if we go on to win something, Rice is going to be a Ballon d'Or contender, at least top 3 Ballon d'Or contenders. And I don't care, I will never entertain any sort of Caicedo Rice, because look, I know my team, I know my players, I know the people that I support. So I'm not going to sit here and watch you just try to compare and discuss our shit. So yeah. So, and that's just all I have to say. I don't think I can really analyze anything, because even when you look at Rice, I think the only time I've seen Rice tired this season was towards the end of that game, and that's valid to him. We have had to come back from 2-1. It's unlucky that we got beaten. I said beaten. I don't know, it feels like a loss, but let's be honest, it isn't. We might look back again at this in May, holding the trophy and just being like, oh, what a valuable point it was at Sunderland. But let's look at it. Let's go deep into that goal that we conceded before we round up with Rice and what I have to say about Rice and Zubimendi, because I feel like Zubimendi, everything that what happened in this game, Zubimendi, it went through him. If he's coming, if he's going this way, if he's going this way or he's going that way, everything came through him. It was like the filter. He was spraying balls around, and honestly, it was classy to watch. It's like watching Iniesta, bro. If you know, you know. But anyways, the last goal that they scored, I don't think I can really dwell much into that, but what I see in that last goal is miscommunication, and it happens in football. I think it happens to me. I feel like you have those moments of tension that are like, okay, I want to be. I think if that type of situation happens in the 5th minute, I think it would have not been a goal, because I think that shot didn't have enough to trouble Raya, and it was from very far out. I think the only reason why that shot has gone in is because Raya was out of the box. And you see, that was a 50-50 between Gabriel and Broby. Gabriel could have actually gotten a deflection on the ball. And that's how the things happen. Hindsight, you can say, oh, you could have done this. But at the end of the day, we went in, and it's what it is football. I think after the game, you talk a lot. You like, you want to have opinions and everything. But yeah, but overall, so I don't really tactics board for today. But overall, what I just see from the team is nothing less of people that are going to do great things. And I'm a fan of AFTV, and I'm also a fan of Turkish and the Loose Cannon podcast, and I watch it every single week, and I like James a lot because he analyzes, and he doesn't convince, he doesn't brainwash you. You too, you see it and you'll be like, I think I get what you mean, and I think what you're saying really makes sense, if you get what I mean. I think what you're saying really is entering my mind. And yeah, you'll be like that, and you'll be like, oh wow, this guy is actually saying some true things. And that's how it is. That's how football is. And we take the positives that we can take from the game. There are a lot of positives to take, and I think one positive is that we broke down that low block. We broke it down. I don't care what anybody has to say. We came up with a moment of magic from Trossard, and we broke the low block down. Izzy had a couple of shots. Zumendi had the shots at the bar. Calafiori had a header that was saved, a brilliant save, and Saka missed a shot. So if we look at it, we dominated the whole. We can even look at the stats. To be fair, but I think I think from the last start that I saw, I think we really dominated everything in the match. Shots on target, shots, and everything. But it's just one of those matches. It happens, it happens a lot. And you see Brentford being Newcastle in that type of thing as well. So it happens a lot. It has happened to a lot of people this season as well. So I don't think it's anything that we should really be. And I think this is the time for fans around the world to come together and just see. I know it hurts. I'm a young fan. I've not seen us not win anything. So trust me, it hurts more than all of the other fans. It hurts to me because I had to grow up in the age of going to school and my friends be clowning me for bustling. But it takes a huge amount of heart for me to say this. As a fan of Arsenal Football Club, let go of the PTSD. Let go of it. Enjoy this season. This is a season where you can say that you have faith because the proof is in the pudding. All you have to do is feel. Let me break it down. 2023. Sorry about that little mishap. 2023. Were we expecting anything? 2020, what were we expecting? I'm pretty sure in 2023 we were expecting top 4. Like, let these boys just get top 4. If you get what I mean. Let these boys just get top 4. Is that not what all of us were expecting in 2023? That's what we're expecting now. Did any of us expect that we're going to challenge for the title? Let's be honest. So we can't even count 2023. The end of 2023 we would have even won it. But why? We didn't have depth. We had to play. We got battered at City 4-1. 4-1. We were playing Rob Holding as centre back. Rob Holding scored and we were still losing 4-1. and bro was celebrating. We were so young in that. So I'm not even going to say that was a missed opportunity, because let's not lie, it was a bit of a fever dream. I'm not going to accept anybody that calls 20. That was a fever dream. 2024, we took it to the final day. I've never seen my team take a title race to the final day. I remember where I was. I remember how I was switching channels. It didn't go in our favor, but we lost the league by 1 point. 1 point. Then you can still have some blame, squad depth, this, that, this, that, this, that. But we lost the league by 1 point. Or was it 2? Let's be honest. And we went on an insane run, 23-24 by the way. We went on an insane run. We're battering teams. But that's how it works in football. 24-25. So many things. Squad depth, injuries, and I think if we're fit, that beginning of the season would have given Liverpool a run for their money, because we are seeing it now. We are seeing the proof in the pudding now. So I think this is a season that you have to look at the squad as a fan. You have to look at. I'm not going to be saying that I will not get my hopes high. Get your fucking hopes high. Get your goddamn hopes high as a fan. Don't care about what rival fans says. It is your club. You have made a decision to support that club and stick with it, man. And this is coming from a young fan, bro. I have not seen this team win anything except from the FA Cup in 2020. But it still plays a big role in my life. Wouldn't I have loved to see them win the league at those 3 occasions? Yes. But now that I'm looking at the proof in the pudding and I know some things about football, I'm not going to say I'm a manager. Probably can't play football manager, but let's be real. Let's be honest with ourselves and just come on the Arsenal. Just let us win. We have Tottenham away next. I'm going to do a preview on that, and I'm going to give my predicted 11 on. When is the match? We're playing on Sunday. Newcastle, Man City are going to Newcastle, so it might be. Depends on how that match goes, and I'm going to do my match preview and then starting 11 and then predicted 11 and then match reaction after the match. And it's been a pleasure. This is my first video on here, and tell me if you come across, please like, please subscribe, and tell me how you want this to be like, and with the tactics board, should I have any specific things, and yeah, should I have any specific stuff like that. And yeah, just thank you for watching if you've watched, and come on the Arsenal.